So Vikrant spoke about, the global reach of Indian cinema and how we are almost there. So you are a specialist in mythos and world building. So how do you marry that with the world building with Indian cinema's expanding global reach?
So how does one, the way I understand this question is about, how do we kind of make our Indian stories to kind of go global and vice versa? Now we all have to remember one point very nicely, that see, we are a nation of 140 plus crore people, correct? We are a nation which is looked at as the biggest market in the world, correct? Whether you look at the car brands, whether you look at toothpaste brand, whether you look at chocolates, whether you look at restaurants, they're all global brands who are trying to come into India and they're trying to set up their shops here, correct? What are they doing? They are trying to come and sell their product into our country. What does that mean? That means that we are the largest consumer market that is available to the world. Now remember one thing, we are sitting in this land, we are sitting here, and we know our sentiments, we know our brand, we know our content consumption pattern better than anybody else, correct? So why are we trying to mock the West in a very incorrect way? Why are we trying to do that? Why can't we do, and why can't we not tell our own stories in our own way? But they say not think global, act local. I think this is the real right time for us to do it. We have the best of the technology in the world. We have one of the best brains who can operate that technology in the world. We have some of the fantastic actors. We have phenomenal filmmakers. We have phenomenal technicians that are all available to us, and we do have an audience. See, first you have to be popular in your own lane. अपनी गली में जो popular होता है ना, वो पूरी दुनिया में शोहरत कमाता है. So first we have to be popular in our own lane, correct? Once we are kind of there, then we can mount on that and kind of reach the global audience. It's also about the consumption pattern globally has kind of remained in the same space. I mean, if I can take the most successful verse, since we were talking about creating world building, if we can look at the most successful verse that has happened up until date, is clearly the Marvel cinematic universe, right? Now Marvel, and because of Marvel, Disney in their peak time looked at 23% of global box office. 23% of tickets sold were for a Marvel film or for a Disney film. Now, what does that mean? A kid in Nebraska, Omaha is also watching the same content as Vikrant's team and staff at home, and it's the same pattern that everybody's watching, correct? I mean, I was actually talking to Ravi some time back about how things, like we have same Virat Kohli who's popular in the north, who's also popular in the south. We are one nation similarly. If you look at it on the
also in Sydney and Lords.
I'm sorry?
Also at the Sydney Cricket Ground and Lords.
And Sydney Cricket Ground and at Lords, correct? So the same content is consumed globally. Now, what if we kind of modified our content a little bit so that it is accessible to the global audience? And the reason one should do that is because the hunger of an artist is to reach a wider audience. The hunger of an artist is to reach more and more people. So if I can take one quick example of my own films. My first film was in Marathi. It was called Lokmanya Ek Yuga Purush. The film, and I'm going to quote numbers because the numbers actually translates to number of eyeballs who have seen it. And just to kind of digress a little bit, they always fancily say that when two investment bankers meet, they talk about art. But when few of the artists meet, they talk about money, right? So just to take a small thing, the reason I'm quoting numbers is because that kind of translates the number of eyeballs that are there. So my first film, Lokmanya, did a box office about 14 to 15 crores into the Marathi market in outside Maharashtra, inside of Maharashtra. There were only so many people who saw the film who were non-Marathi speaking people. The film did some box office in Bangalore, the film did some box office in Indore, the film did some box office in Delhi. I realized that there is a want for niche cinema in my language to reach that audience also. And I was very happy that a kid who was making a film in South Mumbai, his film was actually seen by somebody in Bangalore. It was very satisfying, correct? Then I made, my next film was Tanaji, the Unsung Warrior. Tanaji did very big number, it was about 300 crores, but it had about 14 crores collection that came from Andhra, Telangana, the Telugu speaking states. And I said, okay, this is great, because Andhra, Telangana, normally Hindi films don't make so much collection there. They'd see like 4 or 5 crores. We saw 14 crores. Correct? So which was a big number. So I said, okay, great. Now, even in Andhra, people are liking our film. So then I happened to make my third film, which I actually shot in Hindi and in Telugu simultaneously. So it was Adipurush. Now Adipurush, before we even released, the Telugu market was sold for about 120 crores. I mean, I think distributor somewhere here, maybe he can quote me for the number, but it was sold for that, pre-sold for that. So which means so many people actually saw the film, correct? So the need for an artist is to reach a wider audience, correct? So if we can make our local stories so strong and tell them with our true heart, it will resonate across the world and it will resonate everywhere and people will have market for it.